Howdy, howdy, everybody. A bit of a misfire there, a little bit of miscommunication. So it took us an extra second to get live, but just wanted to let everybody know we still have some important dates coming up. Don't forget the events coming up in May. The really important one is Volunteer is opening on the 9th, and that'll be closing on the 30th. We have some other things coming down the pipeline, obviously the games list and a few other things, but just wanted to type this and make sure that everybody has access to the actual page. That'll show all of the different dates that are important coming up. And without further ado, let's just kick it into the Valkyria Chronicle guys so they have the full amount of time to actually display this great series. There you go. Have fun.
Hey there, everybody. My name is PXmacaiah. I will be showing off the first game.
And I'm Wandering Mind, and I'm going to be showing off the second game.
And I am Louffe. I've been got double duty here. I will be doing Valkyria Chronicles 3 and Valkyria Chronicles 4.
All right, so let's just go right into it here. I'm going to be showcasing a few levels of the run itself. And we're going to be starting off with probably one of the most infamous levels for when you start realizing how broken this game is to break. So here we got a desert chapter here. You can see all these enemies in our way. We got tanks, machine guns, snipers everywhere. And we got deployed with just a tank and a scout here. Our main goal is to capture this base at the end here, which is might be of a challenge, you know, but with just a few encouraging words here, we're just going to tell Alicia to shrug off bullets.
Yeah. Is this like plus 10 defense in the game's system?
It
like
should be plus
games?
10 defense in the first game.
Okay.
So this game series uses a combat system known as Blitz, which stands for Battle in Live Tactical Zones. So what that essentially means is that there's going to be a two-dimensional map area that's turn-based, where you select your units, move them around in real time with the third-person shooter mode. So at the bottom here, you see we have the AP bar, which basically dictates how far you can move during your turn.
Yeah.
However,
with the first move, you get the full gauge. With your second move, you get 2/3 of the gauge. With the third move, you get 1/3. And with every subsequent move after that, with the same character, they will only get 50 AP of movement.
Yeah, so it encourages you to diversify your units, but the scout has the most movement, so we're going to use them. So
yeah, and AP is like one of the most important stats throughout the entire series.
Anyways, we're already here at the base. You know, actually,
yeah, grenade launching.
Yeah. And the only thing stopping you from capturing bases is enemy units within the base area itself. So with this guy, we're just going to knock him out of the base with a grenade here.
My turn, okay?
If my computer can handle this frame rate.
Yeah, and you can just keep pushing with the scout. Most importantly, as you can see in the overhead view, the command mode, there is a box around each base which generally tries to indicate the actual zone where enemy units, if they are inside it, will stop you from capturing the flag.
So we can capture the base here, and that was end the mission, but from the mission select screen, you can't actually load save, so we're just going to move on to the next chapter here.
Yeah.
So that's the mission complete. And that is the strategy known as scout rushing. So we're going to head to the next chapter here, chapter 7.
Scout rushing throughout.
This is probably the most infamous mission in the game itself, because a lot of people got stuck on this mission here.
Oh boy, if it's the one I'm thinking of.
I'm going to show off our setup here. So we're going to have specific setup here. We have scouts at 7, lancers at 8. This is pretty much the only thing you need to do this strategy is lancer at 8. Shock trooper at 4 helps a bit, but not necessarily needed. And for our equipment here, we're only going to need to show off 2 things in our equipment here. We're going to have upgraded uniforms for more defense here. And for the tank, the only important thing is you have this increased payload here, which increases how much damage his the tank's main gun does. We also have some actually upgrades because if you have ever played this game, you know tanks are never accurate unless they're shooting at you.
Yeah, whenever a tank tries to shoot you, it seems to always just be pinpoint. I'm hitting Welkin's radiator because your Edelweiss is gone. Mission's over.
So this is a special kind of mission here, where instead of capturing the enemy base, we had to destroy the enemy tank, quote unquote.
Yeah, this is like the first wall in the game. Like, if you play this for the first time, you're going to be stuck here for a while. But thankfully, because we're on the PC version, saving and loading is really quick. Unlike the PS3 version, where it would take like 30 seconds, something like that.
Yeah,
Not that long, but it's
the PS3 loads are really, really bad.
Yeah, but yeah, the point. Yeah.
I'm wondering why.
No, but yeah, so we're gonna get everything in position, and then when we get to a certain turn, that's where the true fun's gonna begin. But right now, we're trying to hit these walls down, which will slow down this huge vehicle. It'll get its radiators open. We'll be able to attack them, and so normally we have to attack them one by one. We have some cutscenes. We have some other things happen, but we're going to do some major sequence breaking. But we have to set up a few things here first.
Yeah, so we're going to start off by basically carrying every enemy on the map here, except for the main objective. Nice double kill.
Beautiful.
Yeah. That requires a bit of luck and some setup. You just need to...
double kills are so satisfying in this.
They are.
I can do that.
And we're just getting rid of these enemies because enemy turns waste a lot of time.
Yeah. Isn't there also a thing in Valkyria Chronicles 1? It is the game I'm least familiar with, but it's like female shock troopers, their shots go really slow compared to the male.
Yes, for some reason the male shock troopers just fire about twice as fast as female shock troopers. It makes no sense. It never came back, thankfully, in the series.
Yeah.
So now that we've taken out all the enemies, we're going to pass a few turns. The Bottomus here is going to drive in this direct path to our base to crush it. And then on the fourth turn, it's going to shoot this wall here, which exposes the radiators. So we're just going to load a save past all that.
Yeah, because otherwise it's going to take some time, but we're going to jump to the fun part here.
So this is turn 4 here. It has shot the wall, and by doing that, it has revealed its radiators to cool down the gun here. So what you're supposed to do is brave through all the turrets it has around it, have a unit climb up the ladders on the side, and throw a grenade into these radiators to blow them up in one hit. What we're going to do instead is shooting it with the Vulcan. You see here that the radiators themselves have HP value of 2150, and with the upgrades we've done to the Edelweiss, we do exactly 700 damage per shot.
Here we go.
Gotta love nature.
Gotta love nature.
So we're gonna shoot them 3 times, and that's gonna leave them at a lovely HP value of 50.
Entering combat.
So
that's assuming Vulcan hits all his shots.
Yeah.
You have 1 spare shot. So the tactical screen here, you see we at the top left we have command points, which basically whenever you select the unit, it uses up a command point or 2 if you're using a tank. And that dictates how many actions you have during your turn. So now that we weaken 2 of the radiators, we're gonna just get Kobe here, our second shock trooper. He's gonna sneak around. And we're just gonna chuck an 8 in here like you're supposed to. And that's going to destroy the radiator. And the thing is, when you destroy one of the radiators, it causes all other radiators to hide, and you cannot hurt the tank anymore. So normally in this game, this mission is completable on turn 9. That's the fastest you can do it. Now, there is a way to do it on turn 4, but that is very, very random. It was a very old strat that was very random. And we found a more consistent strat that's faster overall because it doesn't rely on any amount of luck. So we're going to show off like the enemy turn here. They're going to do whatever.
Yeah,
also,
wasn't there
really important? You leave your shock.
Wasn't there an old strategy where you would like drive the tank to the top of the hill?
Yes.
That was really something Water Mine found out, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah, so way back in the day, we used to go up to the top of the cliff and then fire on top, hitting all 3 radiators at once. However, I found out that you could shoot below the radiators and hit all 3 at once, and that was huge.
Mm-hmm. All
But,
right, we're gonna make a
yeah,
save
that
here in
was
case I
my-
miss a shot.
Yeah.
And we're gonna use this order here, Demolition Boost, which you get from leveling up Lancers to 8. What this does is it adds 100 anti-armor damage to your unit. So now it's the Vulcan show. So we're just gonna drive up into position here. And by aiming at this ladder, at a specific point of the ladders, the mortar has enough splash damage to hit all 3 of them. And because we left them at 50 HP, the mortar does exactly 50 damage with the demolition boost.
Yeah.
So it's a nice cutscene where the entire enemy army shows up. This happens after you blow up the second radiator. So after a bit of a loading screen here,
Yeah.
you get a cutscene where the entire enemy army shows up. And then because you destroyed 2 raiders in a row, we get the third cutscene that plays right afterwards. So we just chain a bunch of cutscenes together.
Yeah.
And now the Optimus is vulnerable. Look at that entire army just staring at Kevin.
Kevin
And,
just staring into the face of fear. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. And then with Demolition Boost, we do enough damage here to just blow up the Optimus by shooting it repeatedly. And that's how you do it in turn 6. Mind you, the fastest you're supposed to do this is in 9 turns.
Yeah, this mission is definitely like a roadblock to people that are new to the series.
Mm-hmm. I know it was a roadblock the first time I played it, so yeah, the rest of the mission is just us shooting it over and over again. So that's basically it. Turn 7. All right, now we're gonna show off probably the most infamous chapter in the speedrun itself.
Oh, this one.
Oh,
So this is Clash at Nagier. Nagier? I don't know how to pronounce
yeah,
it.
Nagiar, I think. It is.
Nagier.
Yeah, Nagiar, yeah.
So we're gonna have a breakdown of this battle here. You know, we got an entire trench network. And our goal is to capture that base. How are we gonna do that? Alicia!
Yeah.
So
Alicia is
importantly,
so
we
broken.
do not have Vulcan on this map because, you know, you're kind of busy. Over here, we have our trench network here. We have a second trench network here. In the middle, we have no man's land where the enemy will mortar it every single turn. So anybody caught in here is going to die. We got, you know, base here, base here, base here, base here. Enemies everywhere. In fact, there's an enemy right here that will capture our base in 1 turn. So we're going to just head out with Alicia here. Oh, I'm so glad I'm not doing chapter 11 because my frame rate is real bad right now.
Enemy sighted. Enemy unit spotted. Sighted.
Yeah, the code for this game, even on like decent PC hardware, is still pretty janky.
Oh, come on. Why'd he hit me again? I'm just going to heal up. So, with that, we have now crossed no man's land. We are in enemy trenches. That's honestly that easy. And then there's one guy here who's particularly dangerous, but we can just shoot him around the corner. He can't see us. So I'll take care of that. And then, you know, we're just going to casually end our turn right here. And surprisingly, the enemy does absolutely nothing on the first turn if they don't see you. Just don't do anything at all.
That's a common occurrence throughout the series. Like, as long as you're not seen, enemies can often just skip their phase.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a save here just to show you like exactly like what will happen if we do absolutely nothing here on our second turn. Like we do nothing on our second turn, there's enemy just right there in our trench. And they're just gonna just capture our base like that. So, you know, we kind of had to finish this chapter in this turn now because we had no units defending our base.
Yeah, I believe that's like an internal figure that the games have called initiative, where they won't act on the first turn, but they will act on the second turn.
Mm-hmm. So, here's the problem with this. So, this here, this base here. We need to capture this base. There are 2 shock troopers just guarding this base. And as you can see, they shredded Alicia's HP. And now the question is, how do we get them out of the base? And how do you get them out of the base? And how do we not die? And the strategy for this is quite silly.
Moving out.
So we're gonna just head over to this corner here,
Enemy sighted.
take our lovely grenade, so we get precision aiming. Aim for a certain spawn map on the rock here. Take our grenade launcher here, and that should be good. And we're gonna launch a grenade over the wall in between those 2 guys, and he dodged. All right, we're gonna try that again.
Huh.
He does that sometimes. It's really annoying.
Yeah, that's one annoyance throughout the series is like dodge rates can kind of get really crazy later. And
It's even worse because he does not see me, so he should not be able to dodge his grenade. But it's really silly that you can just dodge a grenade in this series.
yeah,
That should be good. So yeah, everyone who runs this game essentially hates this chapter. Okay, that's good. It should be good anyways.
Yeah.
So with
That
that
looks
grenade,
good.
I have launched them both out of the base.
Enemy unit spotted.
All right. And then with that, we can just walk in and capture the base here.
I love
So,
crazy setups like that.
This is only the first part of the objective here. So, by capturing this base, reinforcements for both sides show up now, and the door to the main base is open now, so we can just run straight there. So, ooh, that's a lot of damage.
Oh.
That is fine.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
So here's the fun thing.
Enemy unit spotted.
So as you see now, like enemy reinforcements showed up, our tanks have shown up, and because our tanks have shown up, that means we have orders. Also, there's this guy trying to capture the base right now. So we need to capture this base. Now here's the thing. Normally there's supposed to be like a couple of units defending this base, but because we have killed exactly 1 unit on this map, the enemy has hit the unit cap, and there are no reinforcements defending the base right now.
Destroying the target is your top priority.
So
That's
the only thing
wonderful.
stopping us from capturing the base is a single tank. And I'm just gonna be super safe here and just use defense boosts.
This is an order.
That's wonderful. You hit the spawn cap.
Ready to defend yourself.
Yeah, there's a unit cap in the game, and it's glorious. This is the only map where that actually comes up too.
That's a thing
I'm just
in
gonna
that's
go the
totally
whole-
thing in 2 and 3. Foreshadowing.
Yes.
They got
Uh.
way more ambitious with the newer games. Oh, my frame rate. Also, just gonna shoot down a tank with a small rifle.
Of dodging.
Yeah, the tank's gonna totally dodge you, Alicia. I wouldn't worry
Yeah,
too
of
much.
course.
That too. Thanks, Alicia.
I don't like their attitude.
And with that, we have completed the chapter. So that is chapter 13. And honestly, I don't remember playing this map casually at all. Because, it's a trench warfare. It's very slow crawl. It's advancing across no man's land and taking everything along the way. Or, you just run across. Yeah, I don't want to show off 14 anymore. Ooh. Don't want to inflict. And don't worry about the Japanese house screen I have on my thing. So the next chapter we're going to show off is the final chapter of the game. So this one's got a bit of a more elaborate setup here. We got one of the princes of the Empire who has infused himself with Super Saiyan Blue energy, but fake Super Saiyan Blue energy that's being powered by these 3 towers over here. So we had to take out the towers to make the enemy boss vulnerable to damage. However, if you do 20% of it, was it 30% of his HP or something like that? When you do enough damage to him, he will teleport to the back here and He'll teleport to the back, and that's really bad for us because it makes it a lot harder to kill him in one turn.
This is an order.
So we're gonna just use an order here. I'll use attack
I
here.
want you to fire every
And
bullet
for our
you got.
setup, we have the 2 tanks are mandatory deployments, Waste and Shamrock here. We have 2 shock troopers. We have command point battery. Alicia, Rosie, and Largo are 3 commanders. And we have a sniper, the only sniper you see in the entire run. And the only reason we have a sniper in this map is so we can shoot this one tower in the back.
That won't save you. Good night.
Now, you could not use a sniper to shoot that, but do you really want a tank sniping?
Dreams.
No, we know how unreliable Welkin is.
All right. So we're going to use penetration here.
This is an order.
Penetration is gained from leveling up snipers to 15, which makes snipers the most leveled up class in the entire run because of that. Penetration allows your units to ignore enemy armor when you shoot them. So this armored tower here, yeah, it just dies in 4 shots.
I
Because, you
don't
know,
think so.
we're just going to pretend it doesn't have armor.
Take this. I did it.
So here he's got a Valkyria gun. And we're just going to hide behind our tank and run towards him here. So with that, we've taken care of 2 towers. And now we're going to use Kevin here to take care of the last tower.
I can do that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're just going to run towards him, wait for him to reload so he doesn't shoot us. And we're going to use a team attack here to take out this tower.
Let me help.
Team attacks are a critical part of this game. Basically, up to 3 friendly units within vicinity are allowed to assist you in shooting an enemy here. And we're going to use a Shamrock here, which is
Leave it to me.
pretty much the second time we use the Shamrock in the run itself. And we're going to just walk up to the boss here because he can't hurt tanks. And we're just going to casually shoot him with us 2.
Me too.
So we're going to damage him, but not enough to cause him to teleport away. And for the only time in the run, Rosie gets a turn.
Let's do this thing.
And what is Rosie going to do? She's just going to walk up here and turn. She's going to assist in the final attack here. And we're going to use the Shamrock here. Move up closer to get a triple team attack. So we're going to have all 3 Shark Troopers here. And a Shamrock. Just shoot that and find a boss. Also, you see how slow a few Shark Troopers here. Just Rosie's still shooting. Everyone else is done, but Rosie's still shooting.
Yeah.
That's the final boss done in 1 turn.
I always love when final bosses in these games can be done in 1 turn.
And it doesn't go straight to the credits. You got a final cutscene to skip here. All right, so that's going to be me done showing off the chapter, the speedrun itself. But I'm going to show off some fun things you can do in this game here with only save file and a hex editor. Like, you could do these things. You could essentially mod the game, quote unquote mod. It's essentially save file editing. All you need is a hex editor, and you can do some fun stuff here. So we're going to head into New Game Plus. It's only New Game Plus. I go back to the beginning here, and we're going to show off a few things I have done to some of these save files here. So normally Alicia is a scout, right? So she comes with a standard rifle. Once you become a scout elite, she gets a grenade launcher, and you have healing here. What I have done is given Alicia a sniper rifle. And not
Why
just a
does
sniper
that-
rifle, the best sniper rifle in the game. And as you see, it is straight up a sniper rifle.
It looks so ridiculous.
It looks so ridiculous in her hands here. And I'm just going to line up the shot here and take out his knee. Also, I give her 100% accuracy, so she will never miss a shot.
The thing that surprises me like the most with that is that she's still holding the rifle like a scout rifle, which is supposed to be a lot shorter. So it's like just incredibly long for no reason.
It also gets sillier than this. So on top of having a sniper rifle, she has a tank cannon in her arm. What? Boom!
Okay, that's amazing. I have not seen that before.
Yeah, give people tank weapons. It's quite silly.
That's awesome.
Like
That
not
is.
just that, like she has a mortar as well. You know, just shrapnel.
She just has an entire Swiss Army knife on her.
Yeah.
These
all
are
you
definitely
need-
the weapons she uses to bake bread, right?
Yeah,
Of
there's,
course.
and then we're gonna head off to chapter 15 here. Actually, the second part of chapter 15, and you may notice something weird about Alicia here. Oh, also, a bit of a flashlight warning because whenever the Valkyria gets
She's
shot-
T-posing in her potential.
Yeah, I give her some funny. I give her some funny potentials. You can edit potentials as well, so she's not supposed to have those potentials, but you know, some funny stuff happens. You know, and
Yeah,
I
you
gave her
know, just the
Valkyria hands.
Just the casual,
you-
like 42,000 HP or something like that.
Yeah, I gave her 90. I gave her max HP because if she dies, the game soft locks. Not good because these models do not have animations for most things.
Yeah.
On top of that, I have someone you shouldn't have in your party. And yeah, just look at her potentials here. Yeah, these are not supposed to be potentials she has, but you know, she's a klutz. She's lucky. She's unlucky. She's a show off. Double action, ultimate defense, ultimate accuracy, ultimate armor. Also, she's a Valkyria.
Fair and balanced.
Also, yeah, that's not supposed to happen. Yeah, these animations don't work very well. Also, this chapter is fun here. Oh my god, what is happening?
What?
Her neck is so long, it's great.
So the goal of this chapter here, hold on, let me just go back to the title screen here. Yeah, these models do not like animations, so here we got a fortress here. We got to take out Savaria, the enemy of Valkyria. Her AI is basically to 100% dodge anything she sees in a 270-degree cone. So what you're supposed to do in this mission is, while avoiding her fire from her ridiculously overpowered machine gun that she could see across the entire map, slowly spread out left and right, take out all these bases, surround her on both sides, and then just alternate fire behind her. However, we are playing the PC version. And on the PC version, we can play at 1080p and 60 FPS. And on 1080p or any resolution that is not specifically 720, she just doesn't dodge. At all.
Yeah, I think Doomy told me about this. Just evade ratings are absolutely broken on certain resolutions.
Yeah, Wandering Mind found that out by playing the game at a lower resolution than normal.
Yeah, completely forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. It's been way too long.
This game is held together by tape.
Oh, yeah, because I had a really bad PC that just didn't run things well. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to run this on a very low resolution. And then things happened.
Yeah, even this Japanese loading screen, the Japanese main screen here is a mod. It just replaced the file. There's also some other fun things you could do with save file editing. So you see, I replaced like a few units with Valkyria Alicia, Valkyria Alicia, and Valkyria Savaria here. So we have in our squad here Edie and Edie and Edie and wait, what's happening here? What does? Oh, everyone is Edie.
Instead of the ED detachment, it's the ED attachment.
Hold on to me, folks. Get ready.
Uh, I'm surprised the game is still handling all of this.
Hey, the medic.
Got to stay strong. Keep fighting. Medic.
Oh, we'll see her in a later game, I think.
Edie has been rescued. I'm just gonna retreat Edie here, and let's go get some. Let's get some more units from our squad. Let's get. Oh no! Everybody's Edie.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
What other options do you have as a character?
Edie and Edie and Edie. So I've for the save, I just replaced everybody in my squad with 80, including Rosa, Largo, and Alicia, which you're not supposed to do, by the way.
Yeah,
replace those units because
I think it's the like Stranglewood mission. You can't actually progress that now in this stage.
yeah, because I don't have Alicia in the squad at all because I replaced her with 80. It's fun. And then one last thing I'm going to show off before I end it off here. It's this chapter here. So this is pretty much the only glitch we have found in this game that's potentially useful, or that is completely useless. It's a glitch. It's pretty fun.
My turn.
So we're gonna just walk off here, and up to this ladder, and then we're gonna climb this ladder here. This ladder is a bit weird. So look at Alicia here. She's standing on top of these stairs. So don't worry about her flowing feet here. We're just gonna climb up the ladder here, and then climb down the ladder here. And when we climb down the ladder, you notice she is fallen a bit. You know, you just walk it off and it's fine here. So we're just going to climb up the ladder again. And we're just going to turn around here and then hold forward and whoop. Goodbye. And we have now fallen to the floor. And don't think about dodging as I fire from the ground. You know, we can still walk and everything. Everything's fine.
That must count as a surprise attack, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, technically, they can't see me, right?
Yeah, I mean, you've got the blue line indicating you can't be seen.
You know, here's Alicia, and oh, there she goes. And, you know, her icon is slowly creeping onto the mouse. We're just going to sit over here. And,
oh, so it doesn't act like how a certain game that we'll be seeing later functions. With Valkyria
there it is, there it is. It's coming.
Oh.
And then trying to select the unit itself is a major pain because they're not where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, can't you use the X menu to select?
Yeah, you can. And you can just walk around the map here. You know, I can just fire a grenade. And
I'm actually curious how
there
the
it is.
grenade is going to function.
Huh.
All right. And with that is the showcase of Valkyria Chronicles 1. We are going to move on to Valkyria Chronicles 2 with Watery Mind.
Okay.
Wandering Mind taking over, and I'm going to be showing off the second game, and there's going to be a lot of fun stuff. So this is going to be a bit different from the first game with the switch from like console/PC to handheld, and Louffe is going to help me out explain a lot of things as I get to do stuff.
Yep, whatever.
Yeah.
Ready?
Ashen. Do a little bit of a change over here.
Valkyria 2.
All right. So I have a bunch of stuff I'm going to show off. So I think the first thing I want to do is we're going to do the most difficult mission in the game, the aptly named Ultimate Challenge. And if you can kind of explain that a little.
So the Ultimate Challenge is a super post-game DLC mission that is designed to test the best Valkyria Chronicles 2 player. There's a load of things that happen in this mission. You've got shock troopers that would ideally lower your attack, so you're not going to be able to deal damage. You've got V2 units, which are artificial Valkyria, similar to what you saw, I guess somewhat similar to how you saw Maximilian in Valkyria Chronicles 1, and they hurt a lot.
Yeah.
However, their weakness is a supply vehicle, which is area-based. So what we need to do is we need to go through the 3 areas that we're going to have here, and we need to destroy the supply vehicle. One thing that is really important for this mission is that we are using fences to hold Area 2 and Area 3. The purpose for this is so we don't spawn too many units when it's the enemy phase. And like how Valkyria Chronicles 1 has a unit limit, in Valkyria Chronicles 2, there is also a unit limit which is set to only 7 units per area. So killing as little as possible sometimes is very useful. So we've got Randy here, who voice actor is Tidus from Final Fantasy X. He is dupe boosting, which provides massive, like, damage boosts, like I think it's like 50% to almost all parameters, and also increases the magazine for units that are hit by it by like 35%. Normally, Alias's weapon should have 7 bullets, but that gets expanded to 9. Ah, wonderful.
Yeah.
So, unlike Valkyria Chronicles 1, 2 and 3 have random spawns, so you have to really adapt on the fly depending on what spawns happen.
Yeah, and that's really the true challenge of VC2, especially with like 80% normal, where most of the missions have random enemy placement. So like, I gotta react on the fly like most of the time.
Yeah, so we need to activate that switch that Alias did right at the start of their turn to access the heatsink, because the heatsinks are really important. And Avan moves to basically protect the camp with a massive shield. So we've got Lyn here. Lyn is in the Commando class, which a lot of people would say are generally underpowered, but
No,
I have shown Wandering Mind that Commandos are amazing in this game.
yeah. So what I was trying to do is that I was trying to shoot the supply vehicle from the bottom. However, because the sandbag is blocking my way, I'll kind of have to go up here. But that's like one of the things, like sandbags, enemies, even landmines.
Yeah, basically there's set patterns that can sometimes be mutually exclusive on what spawns that you have to get used to with VC3.
Also, the Regnade there's a grenade and Regnade is extremely busted in this game because you can just keep taking it out. And
Yeah, target mode is just a very broken aspect in VC2 and VC3.
Yeah. But yeah, so the way to deal with these V2s is something called stutter stepping, where I can reset the animations by aiming. Different items have different aiming speeds. Regnade has the fastest, so that's what I use. And you kind of have to get a rhythm going.
Yeah, Wandering Mind is really good at the stepping to like the constant target mode to not get hit by the V2s.
Yeah, it took many years of practice. But yeah, so just trying to make sure I got everything. Everything looks good. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna end my turn. Just making sure.
Mm-hmm. So VC2 and VC3, the PSP engine, has what they call instant turn speed, where the enemies will basically pre-calculate on what they're doing, and they do make some shortcuts. Don't worry about that camp being captured. That's just the camp between Area 1 and Area 3. And with the fencers, ideally, they will just hold their camps, and there will be tons of enemies in front of them.
And this is where the commando really comes in. So the commandos have flamethrowers, which can defeat a whole bunch of enemies at once. So what I'm going to try to do here is check each area and see what I can do here. Oh, that's really good.
Flamethrower party in 2. Yes, that is a Vanquish sticker on the tank. It gives the tank additional movement in their AP gauge.
Right. I think I can do this. Let me just double check here. Yeah, all right. Except for that, enemy dodge. We're gonna...
It still picked up 2 kills though.
Yeah, okay. Actually...
So the important thing that we need to track now is that there are 7 units in every area, except now within Area 2 we've killed 2, so it's down to 5. And we have 20 CP, because of the CP rollover from the first turn, to get rid of every single enemy that remains.
I think I might have an idea. But yeah, like, this is me reacting on the fly. Like, enemy placement can be very different just depending on how the mission plays out.
Yeah. The choice of Lyn is because she has a potential called Hard Worker.
Nice double kill.
Wonderful double kill. Excellent double kill.
Yeah, because the V2 can just normally block my shots with the death animation.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like we don't have a Mauler right there. All right, so I'm going to switch on over to this area for now.
I hope you've made your peace.
So, if you're wondering, like, why are commandos so powerful, the game has a class system where you can change between so many classes on so many units, and we have carried the max versus personnel potential. Oh, some headshots there. We've carried the max versus personnel potential from these characters being trooper elites, because the potential system works very differently in the PSP games. Max versus potential is a potential that will basically always activate. Sometimes, if you have a potential that activates with the on selection state, you will need to move around a little bit for max versus personnel to then trigger, as it does queue up.
Okay, this is perfect. That
Another
was lovely.
beautiful double.
Upstart his fleet.
Okay. I'm just thinking, will I be able to do enough movement? I think I should be fine.
Don't they know who I am?
I mean, you can pick up the V2 kills at least.
Yeah, I may as well, but I want to capture that camp over there because it'll let me connect to certain areas that I normally won't be able to reach otherwise.
Yeah.
Don't they know who I am? I hope you've made your peace. Just as it should be.
Alright. Looks good. But yeah, so prepping this file took me a while because I have to get potentials, get equipment, and just, you can help me explain here.
Yeah, this game is incredibly random with so many aspects. This is equipment. When you defeat enemy aces, that's random. When you complete missions, you get random credits, and we don't know how to manipulate these in real time, but we do know how the RNG rolls in the game,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
yeah, it does. But yeah, like with certain potentials, like with max versus personnel, like you get them from different classes, and that requires just using certain units over and over to unlock them, and then I can carry them over to certain classes.
Yeah,
And doing this for a whole bunch of characters, it took a while.
Yeah, there's also a hidden system within the game that very few people probably even know about here, called potential sickness. It sounds really stupid, and it is. To where when you change class, there is a 25-point system where every single time you select a unit, it decreases by 1. Every single time the unit picks up a kill, it decreases by 2. And every single time you defeat a tank, weirdly, the tank is there, it goes down by 3. And you are unable to learn the slot 3 potential that each character will have on their class while potential sickness is activated. You have to get rid of the 25-point system before you can even learn the potential. So if you've been trying to learn Dud Mine on a unit... beautiful double. So if you've been trying to learn like the Dud Mine potential on a unit, you might not be able to learn it because of potential sickness.
Yeah, so I'm aiming for the feet, so in case the enemy dodges, I can still defeat him pretty quickly.
Yeah, dodges in this game, I believe, are 30% damage reduction. I might be wrong on that.
Yeah.
And that damage reduction calculates before defense, so it ends up being way more than 30%.
Okay, I should be able to finish this pretty easily.
How is your command points looking?
Pretty good. In fences, what are they? They're just suggestions.
I'll do my best.
Yeah.
If only you could shoot through fences in the first game.
Yeah.
I've felt
Hardware
that pain
limitations, maybe? Because,
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
it was a bit of a controversial change when he went from the PS3 to the PSP.
yeah, and especially with like the area system and all the other changes that came along with it.
Yeah,
That-
that's just due to the hardware limitations of the PSP.
And that is a beautiful ultimate challenge.
That is. Because I forgot to show something really quick, mind if I just throw in something extra real quick?
Sure,
You
sure.
got time.
Yeah, but yeah, that was beautiful. Like, I was struggling before, but that is how it goes when it goes really well.
Yeah, I came up with that strategy where we would take out just specifically the supply units, the supply vehicles, because that only allows the enemy to bring in 3 additional units because of the area limits in the game.
But yeah, I'm going to switch classes here for the rest of my part of the showcase. And I have to just check my potential real quick here. Everything looks good. And then I have to change my equipment every time I switch classes.
Yeah, this is like one of the issues that sort of plagues the PSP games is the class change system. It resets you to like the default weapons. It doesn't have any sort of memory to what the unit had.
All right. So I'm going to show off like one of the larger skips in like the 80% normal run. But yeah, it's been a while since I've done this, but I should be able to make it work. But yeah, so I'm doing this with maxed out units, and I'm just going to put this there just for safety. So with this mission, we have to take out 3 heat sinks, and unlike Ultimate Challenge, this is all that we have to do. And normally you have to run around, get to the bottom area, and hit some switches. However, I'm not going to deal with that. So I'm going to get in position here. And remember how I said the fences are just a figment of your imagination? Let me just get in position here. Let me back up here. And that's what I like to call the wander shot.
Yeah, that shot is incredibly precise. Like, if you are too far forward or too far back, you'll either hit the raised platform itself or hit the wall from, if you're too far back, you hit the wall that the shot is just going past. I remember way back when the speedrun for this game was basically just level 1, and was it, I forget what you ended up leveling, but it was demo boost, right?
Defense boost. That was
yeah.
really the only one.
Yeah, it used to be just straight up level 1, but now we've introduced a couple more levels into the game for safety. And it is also just faster.
It is, yeah. Because for the longest time, I was really the only one running this game.
Yeah.
They quickly learned how stupidly broken defense boost was, because in this game, in the second game, they made it cost 4 command points instead of 1.
Yeah, all orders in Valkyria Chronicles 2 have an absolutely ridiculous command point cost. For example, there's for example, we have the morale gauge, which kind of influences the potential rates of your characters. That kind of works similarly to like Awaken Potential. How much does that cost in VC1?
Awaken Potential? I think they cost 2 or 3.
Yeah, in this game it's 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, they knew orders were a little bit broken, so they were like, how can we just change things? Cost 8.
That's a way to rebalance it.
To make it so you never use them, really.
Yeah, like, that was really good. But yeah, like, I'd be at lower level, and my equipment
would be a lot less overpowered.
Right. So, next up... Oh, I'm going to enjoy showing this one off.
Is this what I think it is?
Yes!
How can I help you today?
Oh, yeah. The newest strategy within the series.
Yes.
It was found like a week ago initially, and then we've already evolved on it. It's crazy.
Oh, I cannot wait to show this off. But let me change my group here. Yeah. Okay. Because I have a group specifically for Ultimate Challenge, and I have a group specifically for this mission.
Yes. So, you know how a lot of people will often call this Fire Emblem with guns. I hear it all the time. It's really, really annoying. Well, fencers do bring swords.
Yeah.
Sega were like, we are tired of people calling Valkyria Chronicles Fire Emblem with guns, so they give you swords.
Hey, remember that? So silly.
All right, so we have purple water here.
Yeah, the purple water drastically makes your HP go down and your defense. As you can see, like Avant got absolutely destroyed by the cannon tower.
Yeah. And this is why I wanted Avant, because he's anti-intercept.
Yeah.
So
And, Avant can be any class, and he can pick up so many potentials for it.
as a complete casual here, you guys keep mentioning levels and like being at low levels. Not sure if you talked about it earlier, but what is it exactly that made you decide levels weren't worth getting initially? It's not as simple as an RPG where you just kill something and level up, right?
So
No.
levels in Valkyria Chronicles 2 are mostly only for orders. Sort of, we only really hit specific level breakpoints for orders. And I guess in Valkyria Chronicles 1 and 4 for battle potentials, because battle potentials are a complete different system in the PSP games.
Yeah.
Okay, I expect this.
So in the console games, not the portable ones, leveling system is you level up the entire class itself.
Okay.
And then at certain thresholds, you unlock potentials for your entire. You unlock potentials at certain levels for certain classes, as well as unlocking orders when you hit certain levels as well.
Okay,
speedrun is
oh,
mostly-
this is gonna be sketchy.
So leveling up,
Man.
mostly just want to hit those thresholds. Every
Yeah.
level also increases the stats of everybody within that class based on their gross, but that is honestly not too big.
So
it's-
basically, like the leveling is important, but you have to go through a bunch of menuing to do it, which is why it was initially skipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
Don't know if I'll have enough command points to do this on turn.
You'll have to do this in one shot.
I do have 2 commandos in the base camp, so in case
Yeah.
I have a way of dealing with this. Not to worry, I got this.
Flamethrowers are really useful weapons in that they hit in a wide AoE and you can't dodge them. They'll hit you underground. So,
Not exactly true in the PSP games, actually.
Ah.
You have to aim down a little bit for the flamethrower to hit a crouched unit.
okay,
If
yeah.
you
In the
just
first,
completely dodge, you just actually
okay, in the
fully
first
dodge
game,
it.
you can't dodge. It's always like horizontal to you. You can't aim.
I remember the last time I took out a sniper's nest with a flamethrower. That seems like a very plausible series of events.
Yeah. So typically in like Valkyria Chronicles 2, the flamethrowers have a damage value when maximized to 368. That's not necessarily true when you put on max versus personnel on your commandos, which is a 90% damage boost. So it sends it to sky
Just a
high
small
value.
one.
Yeah,
Okay,
just,
there we go.
Yo.
it just boosts it to 699, or as I like to call it, the $7 commando.
It's also a really big change in retreating and deploying units in Valkyria in the PSP games to the console games, because in Valkyria Chronicles 1, retreating basically takes up your entire turn, and in deploying unit uses up a command point, and it waits till next turn to deploy a unit. But with the map system in the portable games, they had to change it drastically. So,
This
Deploy
is
unit.
not-
Oh,
ooh,
the AP use up might end
that is
this,
we'll
but
You'll
you'll
see
be able
what
to.
happens.
You'll
That's
run
so
to turn
dirty.
2 anyway.
But in the portable games, when you deploy a unit, you immediately get to take action with them because it would not work with the map system otherwise.
Yeah. So this is the trick where we place a mine and it effectively sets an illegal zone for a displaced unit to sort of get reset to. And what we'll do is we're going to be displacing Zaka by chucking a grenade at himself. Hopefully this is good.
Yes!
And that's the ladder skip. It's wonderful.
Oh!
Hopefully,
Yeah, all y'all
Nice.
were talking about up warps. Well, guess what? I got a down warp.
Yes.
We actually introduced that into the run for the first game as well. I didn't show that off.
Yeah.
Gotta love the
So
passion.
this setup I found like 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
No-
I came up with the initial skip where we would go through a fence and then climb down the ladder. But now we have a full ladder skip. It's amazing.
You know,
Ragdolls in
especially-
this series are great.
with doing like tech for the event, that statement you want to hear after the skip is completed, not before. Because when you hear that before, you're like, well, we're going into overtime, folks. We're getting an estimate, baby.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, Ragdolls are fun.
but we got Valkyria 3, which I'm really worried about because that game is rough.
Mhm.
Yeah. I got one last thing I got to show off here. And so we have an escort mission. You want to describe this escort mission?
It's painful. It's probably the first block that exists in Valkyria Chronicles 2 for a casual playthrough. What you need to do is you need to get the escort APC through the areas. We're just going to be going from Area 4 to, I believe it's Area 2. And with this, we kind of have to go up against one of the main antagonists of this game, Dirk Gassonow. He is a V2 style unit, but he hurts way more. But I don't think we're going to be completing this mission specifically, because there might be some interesting interactions.
Yeah, so I'm taking a decent amount of damage. So the thing about Dirk can actually damage vehicles. The other V2s, not really.
Yeah. So Alias is, or the Demon Rat Child, as we like to call her lovingly, because of a PvP match me and Wandering Mind had, where my Alias was an absolute demon and was refused to die, just picking up all the kills.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
times.
introduced PvP in PSP.
Yeah. And then it disappeared. So this escort APC, it takes 2 CP every single time you select it. So it's really, really painful to actually utilize it properly.
Gonna wait for the enemy phase to end, and well, so we'll see. So normally there's like an orange spot where that's where you're supposed to take your escort APC to, and that would end the mission. And so a long time ago, I tried to see if you could trigger it outside of the goal point. And well, we'll see what happens.
It didn't exactly work how you wanted it to do. So
I see you there. Hostile spotted.
Oh yeah, if you're too good with your movement, you have to wait for the enemy to stand up to finish your action. This also happens in an escort mission if there's an enemy at the goal point, and yeah, well, let's just see what happens. Hold on, wait for it. But yeah, like I was saying, so in another mission, for example, let's just say there's an enemy at the goal point, and if I run over it and I'm at the goal point, I have to wait for the enemy to stand up for the end of the mission to trigger. But anyway, let's just see what happens if I... Here we go. Oh, there we go.
that's the APC trying to go up the cliff. And it's wonderful.
Perfect parking job. 10 out of 10.
Yep. And
Yep.
this is where I'm going to end my showcase for the second game. And Louffe, you can take it over for the third game.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to have a really painful time with Valkyria Chronicles 3.
All right.
You want me to run the poll for you?
That's for Valkyria Chronicles 4.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me know when
Unfortunately,
you're ready, and I'll
for
give
the
you
third
a couple
game,
minutes to pick that one up.
unfortunately, the third game is the only game to never make it overseas.
No,
So, this is Japan locked.
Yeah.
What is it with threes? Mother 3, Valkyria Chronicles 3.
Well,
I'm
you
out of
see, they
examples.
didn't. Well, you see, by the time this game released, the PSP was pretty much dead in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second game didn't exactly sell the best in the West. That came out in 2010, and then a PSP game in 2011. Yeah, it wasn't really going to happen here, which is a shame because Valkyria Chronicles 3 is really good.
It is.
Yeah, so
good.
one thing I'm
It's
going
fun.
to say is please do enjoy the title screen. It's absolutely beautiful. So we're going to be jumping into a Chapter 9 save I have. And I am going to... No, wait, sorry, wrong save. We need to go to Chapter 20.
I had a real fun time with this game. Imco was my MVP of the run of the game.
Same here.
Oh, same here. Imco is
Yeah.
an absolutely wonderful character. So I accidentally went to the wrong save. It's old notes I have. So to Chapter 20 save, and we're in Chapter 2. A couple quirks I want to show off with this game. So it is based off the Valkyria Chronicles 2 engine. You'll definitely see why.
Yeah.
So I have Kurt as a armor tech, Riella as an engineer, and Imka as a fencer. If you're not using Imka as a fencer, I don't know what you're doing. Even though fencers are really, really hard to use in this game.
Yeah,
I thought you were saying you didn't want people to call this Fire Emblem. You can't just say fencer and just expect us to let that slip.
The
Come
thing
on,
is,
man.
I am never going to swing my sword with Imka. So first thing that I'm going to do
It's
is I'm just
purely
going to crouch at
ornamental.
the sandbag. You might be realizing, what am I doing here? So I'm going to use the APC, and what we're going to do is we're going to drive backwards. And this means Kurt will stand up with the shield still deployed. This is not a state that should exist. And just to show, this is more VC2. The APC does the same thing.
Woo! We're going off-road, boys!
Now, this is going to be a really long explanation of what is really happening. There's two armor types within the game, known as hard armor and soft armor. Damage output from... Damage outputs, so if I go to this vehicle, on its weapon it has a 21 versus personnel and 45 versus armor. I know it's in Japanese, I hope I'm trying my best here. And Riella has a defense rating of 33 because she has the accessory which is adding plus 20 to all directions. If a unit has soft armor, which is supposed to be all infantry, any APC on the sides and backs, and I believe also tank radiators, that's considered soft armor. If your attack rating is below the defense rating, you will deal 1 damage. But there's also hard armor, which applies to APC fronts, tanks in all directions, and also engineers.
Oh yeah, they introduced the facing system in the PSP games, where your damage changes based on.
So as you
where
can
you're
see, like I'm just running with Riella, and she's taking like no damage whatsoever. But one thing is, these scouts have a damage rating of 25, and within interception, this is reduced by 10%, so it goes down to 22. So if I turn Riella, she has 20 rear defense, so now she can activate anti-intercept when she gets shot. Come on. I'll go a bit further so I can get both scouts on there.
Sometimes triggering potentials is annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's anti-intercept, and now their attack rating is turned to 11. Riella is basically invincible.
Which is funny because she is this game's Valkyria.
Yeah.
Playable Valkyria.
So unfortunately, in the PSP games, you can't load. You can't save or load mid-mission, so I'm really bad at the game. I have to retire. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, I guess the trade-off is that the missions of the PSP games tend to be shorter and a bit more fast-paced. I mean, there are some that will take a while, but that's kind of the trade-off you get with the PSP games.
Yeah. So now I am going to be going to this save file, which is a completed, basically maximized save file. But it's not just a maximized save file. It also has a funny quirk where if I go to the training field, it is a level 1 save file. I have painstakingly gone through this game on a level 1 save file. And levels in this game work differently to where they actually affect individual stats. So the first one will increase your HP. The second one increases your accuracy. Third one increases your evasion. And the fourth one rotates between damage increase against infantry, damage increase against armor, resistance, and I believe it's resistance and defense increase.
I think so. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So, yes, this is on a level 1 save, so everything is going to be incredibly difficult, and this is the hardest game in the series.
Yeah, the previous games, it just clumped all those stats into one level up.
Yeah.
Besides the damage and defense levels.
Yeah.
At least it isn't like VC2 where you have to get 45 million XP to get max level.
Oh, God, yeah.
So engineers continue to be broken. They don't just have some amazing, like, hard armor aspects. They also have some fun little quirks. So I'm going to have to showcase this by using several different classes. And the characters that I'm using are quite specific, and you will see why. Anyone like Skies of Arcadia? Because you're about to see the Skies of Arcadia trio of Vice.
That's a
Yeah,
deep cut.
the
That's a deep cut.
was it the director
Yeah.
of Skies of Arcadia worked on this game?
I believe so.
I think so.
But yes, you are going to be seeing Vice, Ica, and the medic, Fina. The medic from VC1, Fina. So, need to explain how range in this game works. So, you see this arrow above the enemy and my target. It's yellow. This means I'm out of the effective range. And once I'm in, it will turn red. As you can see, Vice, 3 shots to the head, 7 shots to the body for the kill. But as soon as I start exiting the effective range, this damage drops off immensely. Even a headshot is going to be dealing, I believe it would be like 1 or 2 damage, because it's just not enough to even scratch it. And that's not even much distance away. So, Vice, you're kind of useless, just move to the side. Next up, we are going to be using Ica. Ica is a scout, and she has a longer range, of course. So, we're going to look at 2 to the head, 5 to the body. But once we sort of lose the red arrow, the damage drop-off will start happening really quickly. So, I'm going to move back a little bit. And now we're dealing significantly reduced damage. You saw it was 2 on the headshots, now it's 7. And the further you get away, of course, it deals way less damage, and you will start getting to question marks soon. But what about engineers? Well, I'm going to show you the wonders of Fina. So, with Fina, we're going to get in range for the red arrow again, and the targeting system is rough. So, 2 to the head, 6 to the body. But we're going to run really, really, really far away. And she can still deal decent damage if it's a headshot. This is way out of her standard range. The damage drop-off on engineers is really broken. To where I can even target this far enemy, and if I aim at the head, it turns to 11. The enemy is miles away. It's hilarious. So yeah, engineers are like weirdly a really, really broken class through the series. Oh well, through VC3. I would shoot, but it'll miss.
Damage is fine. The accuracy is not.
Yeah, the damage is surprisingly still pretty decent.
Overcorrection
Now-
for underpowered classes.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to be going to control the port, and I'm likely going to execute a glitch which will corrupt textures. It's really freaky. I don't know why it happens, but it sets a ticking time bomb.
Just
for the textures.
It doesn't like make the game flip out and start like flickering or anything.
No, it's just textures. So
Okay.
if I have to do that, we'll restart the system.
Okay.
So
Just want
I
to
need
make
to
sure.
remember-
Whenever I hear glitches, I get a little bit gun shy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. What are we doing again?
So this is a mission, I believe when it's translated as Control the Port. It's a pretty infamous mission because it introduces a new mechanic known as live bombardment zones. You see the red highlighting on these areas. This effectively will drop constant bombs on your unit during your action mode. However, we're going to mess around with it a little bit.
Yeah.
These
So
were annoying.
they were.
I'm going to be deploying all my command points just for safety. Oh wait, wrong area for Cedric. And we're pulling out Demon Rat Child. Let's go!
Woo!
Oh yeah, if you do want to play this third game, I do recommend you play this third game. Whether you play it through legal or illegal means, there is an English patch.
It will humble you. There is an English patch, but it's really shaky.
Yeah.
So I decided to play on the.
This is an old English patch.
From what I can tell, the English patch developer, their native language isn't English, and there's some wonderful stuff, such as one of the fail conditions in a mission is just 8 head. Yeah, 8 head.
Yeah.
So, this is what live bombardment looks like.
Yeah.
Nice.
It hurts with infantry. What I'm doing with my tank, but what you can do is I'll show a little bit with the tank where if you use target mode a lot, you can permanently delay the bombs.
Excuse me, do you just have giant anime pictures tattooed on your tank?
Yes, so this is a sticker called Shining Tears, and it increases anti-personnel damage. Yes.
You can put stickers on your tank and it uses the stats.
This is absolutely, this is normal gameplay. I don't know why you guys are asking questions. This should be expected.
Of course.
So I'm going to do this one for PX. Shining Tears is used during the speedrun. I'm going to show this one off for PX. I need to find the unit. I believe, yep. So I know PX likes mortar lances.
Mortars are great.
Yeah.
At least these sirens don't sound like UPS is going out.
Yeah, this mortar lance has 500 range and it is absolutely ridiculous.
That's 500?
Yep.
Yep, 500 range. It's almost basically cross-mapping. So I'm going to just do it, and the projectile goes really wonky at that long range. It also deals insane damage.
Yeah, they've tried their hardest to make Lancers useful in the series.
Now, we're going to use Alias, but we're not going to use Alias in the expected manner. What we're going to do is we are going to use a lot of target modes to permanently delay the bombs from dropping. I will need absolute silence for this, as I have to hear for the bomb whistle. Is that a mine? Yes. So I'm going to attempt to perform the glitch that can bug out textures. By standing on a mine, mines are death traps in this game, but the bombs, they can knock you off. And you know that knowledge we learned from the mines in VC2, where it prevents you from going on them when you get displaced? We're now displaced off a mine, and we now have a ticking time bomb for the textures to bug out. I've got the target glitch that exists where it will just randomly snap to something even if you're not looking at it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so it's going to constantly snap to that fencer, which I actually cannot see right now. So if I rotate the camera, give me a second. Oh, I broke it. Cool.
Perfect.
But yeah, you can just use target mode to constantly delay the bombs. Now I'm going to be going to a mission which I believe is protecting the stolen goods, which is probably one of the dangerous missions within this game. It's super dangerous and you have to be really careful on it. I believe it's this mission. And I'm not going to really actually be doing anything in the mission. I'm just trying to search for an enemy that has probably one of the most disgusting weapons that you would see in this game. Also, it has the live bombardment from the previous mission.
It's a terrifying description. Most disgusting weapon I've seen in this game.
Yes.
Yes. Well, it's more so most disgusting in comparison.
I don't know. It is the most disgusting weapon I've seen in the series.
So with this, we are going to be using the order all area recon. I'm going to try this 3 times.
Order's actually being useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
So
quickly
if I go
rebalanced it.
to the enemy list, I am searching for a specifically leader scout. I got it first try. So the standard scout rifle in this mission has 68 versus personnel, which is incredibly high. And 50 versus armor. What was the other leader? I got a leader lancer. But if we go to the leader scout, they have 97.
Yeah.
That's a 29 damage increase or
So
something like that
33%
from a singular weapon tier, which is incredibly high. And luckily I got it first try. That's all I wanted to show off in that mission. It's just insanely high damage on those scouts if they're a leader. If they're not a leader, it's completely fine. At 61 or whatever the value was.
Completely fine, quote unquote.
Yeah. Now, I'll say, ticking time bomb. I'm going to try to not get a bug here. This is the Ultra Endgame DLC in this game. The Ultra Endgame DLC in this game, known as the Treacherous Valkyria. It's a series of 4 missions, and to unlock the middle one, you have to complete the previous 3. Where you have Valkyria of the Skull, which is going to be Alias, Valkyria of the Border, which is against Selvaria, and Valkyria of the Streets against Alicia. Each of these missions have their different clear conditions. Valkyria of the Skull is to hold the line for 4 turns or all enemy units defeated. Valkyria of the Border is defend 2 gates for 5 turns. Selvaria is going to be aiming at that gate, and she will take off like 40% in a single shot. You need to know what you're doing. And Valkyria of the Street, which is the easiest one here, where we are going to be defeating Valkyria Alicia in a single turn. Now, as I said, if the textures bug out, I will be restarting the system and going back into the game.
Is it possible to play with the
Yes,
that textures?
this mission that I'm doing here is done in Chapter 2 in the speedrun, because we have a super, super safe setup for it. I'm going really risky because I'm feeling confident here.
You got this.
And, oh yeah, I need to have Gloria in C and Imkir in E. I can't read Japanese. I'm going off the character portraits for who I'm selecting. Which, I mean, it's wonderful because if you can tell the character portraits, it's great. So now we are going to do an open fire with Imka to start the mission. And she has a weapon called the crowbar, and it has insane damage. 613 versus personnel, and 2,500 versus armor.
Yeah,
Just-
MK is my vote
Yeah.
for the strongest unit in
And
the game.
you know how it's like, oh, why are you saying the word fencer? It's supposed to be Valkyria with guns. Well, Fire Emblem with sword. Oh, sorry, Valkyria. Fire Emblem with guns. No, we got the wonderful aspect of we have a long-range sword. So I go straight into target mode, and it targets everything that's on the screen. And hopefully everything will die.
Yep, I highly abused this in my playthrough.
Yeah.
Open
This is so
fire is
satisfying watch.
so good compared to everything else.
Funnily enough, if I remember correctly, the damage increase that you can get from leveling up doesn't actually apply to open fire. Yeah. Very strange. So now we need to dance around the Valkyria Alicia while she's just, well, being a Valkyria. Even though the mission is just defeat Valkyria Alicia, I'm going to be defeating all units because I like the way it looks. This is the Ace unit. They have 1,050 health. We are going to break their defenses.
Yeah. So Alicia shoots really fast.
Yes, you know the stutter stepping that you saw Wandering Mind do in VC2? You can't do that very well in this game against the
Hey.
Valkyria units.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
like,
luckily, I got behind this fencer, and I'm just gonna don't bring swords to a gunfight, and the textures have bugged out. Wonderful. It's
That's
a
beautiful.
wonderful mess.
You don't need those.
Yo,
oh,
it's a bit square.
it is.
Yeah. So now I'm going to be using our favorite scout again, Ica. Yeah, I guess we have like a chocolate bar going on, and our characters are not looking too happy right now.
Yeah. Seen better days.
Oh, this just reminds me of Ocarina of Time when you dupe like 70 Skull Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 4 shots to kill. Wonderful.
Or what is it? Tears of the Kingdom, where you dupe your sword so many times, all you hear is "Mrrr."
Yeah, the zoggling in Tears of the Kingdom's hilarious. So now we're going to be using direct command with Kurt, and he's seen a better day. I love the music that goes on with when you use a special ability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this game introduced 3 special abilities for the main characters.
He doesn't
Oh.
see fear because he doesn't have any eyes. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up both Gloria and very, very messed up Cedric. They're fine.
I can never guarantee chat loves it, but I know I love this kind of nonsense.
No, Alicia's just turned. I can
Oh,
back this
no.
up.
I
I can do a
think.
backup here.
Oh. Yeah.
Don't worry, I got a backup.
All right.
So, yeah, your 3 main characters have special commands here. Kurt is direct command, which allows you to just basically just drag 2 units with him. And
Yeah. However, there
Really
are
busted.
some additional things to that. I'm just gonna pop Alicia in the back. She'll be fine.
This is
she
pure
eats a lot of tank shots in the face. It's fine.
Yeah.
She's used to it.
Oh,
Which
so now it's
sniper should I
literally an
use?
hey, look, the anime waifu's gone. I have nothing
Hey,
to
look!
complain about anymore.
Hey.
Hey, you know from Valkyria Chronicles 1, Marina, she's the only sniper we're using. She has seen better days, though.
She'll be fine.
So what we're going to do is, with this ace,
Bad
we are
hair
going
day.
to... Okay, he didn't dodge. All aces in this unit, in this game, have a 10% dodge chance. And unfortunately for... I'm just going to play this safe here. I'm going to move Kurt one more time with direct command. I'm not sure if they're exactly in attack range, so I'm just being really safe here.
Yeah, direct commands or special commands. You got,
There is
direct
a...
command.
Okay, so the attack is fine. Just going to call Cedric, though. Bring him over a little bit. We're good.
Yeah.
Direct command also ignores the co-op system with co-op fire, where normally Lancers can't co-op fire with any other unit in this game. But with direct command, you can bring a Lancer into co-op fire.
Mm-hmm. That's new. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, units won't follow you through ladders if you go down one, so just be aware of that.
Yeah, Riella's is become a Valkyria. It's honestly like the weakest of the three. And Imka's was
And now-
fire.
We're going to make sure Alicia is dead by unloading all of our gunner bullets. And I mean all of them.
Yeah. You know what they say? There's no such kill like overkill.
If you didn't kill him, you just didn't pump it up. You just didn't pump enough
One
bullets.
enemy, the entire police battalion fires. It's an action movie. Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. We got to reload all at the same time. Wait. Give him a chance to get back up.
Yeah, so I am going to have to restart the game. Give me a second.
You can just play the rest of it with this.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Outside
No,
of you, I don't
I
think anybody else would mind.
I'm not going to be playing the game like that. So just give me a moment.
I've actually I've activated some weird glitches like this in Rebirth. You can mess with the camera, and it's really hard to play with.
Yep.
Another one, you can glitch out the audio, so like certain tracks just don't play, and you have to reload it.
Wonderful.
Unless it just feels like you're playing underwater. You're like, I feel like something's wrong here, but I'm not sure what.
Yep. So now I did Valkyria of the Street, we're going to be getting into Valkyria on the ship. This mission can give you horrible spawns. You might notice it from the mission layout from Valkyria Chronicles 2. It's based on the Dandarius. Sorry, I can't read Japanese. I'm going through Japanese menus. And your objective is to defeat Valkyria Riella, who is incredibly powerful. You saw how much damage Alicia was doing? She deals double. So our visual glitch should be fixed. I had to do that. I was just like, I'm playing through this mission with the visual bug. So we're placing all our command points, and we bring out the Demon Rat Child yet again. And
Woo!
I did an incorrect placement on Kurt.
Minasan?
So we're going to be doing a lot of Valkyria Chronicles 2 based tech here. Again, it's essentially on the same engine. So Alias, the Demon Rat Child, is back, and she's back with a vengeance. So we're going to be activating anti-intercept off that tank. Whoa, my damage number, my health is looking really bad. I'm going to do a backup here. I'm going to check what's into Area 3 quickly. With Annika. Annika has the room from VC1. It's a equally as broken weapon in this game. So I'm mostly doing this for a little bit of scouting for what's in the area. I see something that is going to be really painful. So goodbye, scout.
Gotta appreciate how we have like two heavily armed troopers and then one guy with just ants on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll say I am going to play it safe here. I'm going to be bringing out Fina to do the heal. I got to give the Skies of Arcadia fans their show of character.
The characters look good. It's just a little bit weird because their proportions in Sky of Arcadia is smaller from what I remember.
Yeah.
So feels a bit jank that they're like regular sized adults rather than anime
So
size.
into Area 3, I'm going to be taking Alias into the final area. And to do this, we are going to get edge interception off the heavy armor. We are outside of their effective attack range, so they'll deal 1 damage. It might take a while, they're not very accurate.
But yeah, so with the heavy armor units, so you know how we had the V2 units and we had the supply vehicles? We don't have to deal with that. However, these heavy armors have a chance to block your attacks if you attack them from the front or wherever.
I like waiting for anti-intercept.
Yeah. You either get it right away or you wait a bit.
Yeah, it rolls on every single point of damage you take. So as long as we're taking 1 point of damage every bullet.
This feels like Dompe luck. It's like it's either great or your run's dead.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. That's anti-intercept. There we go. And now, the final area in Area 4. I need to go to Area 1 quickly just to take out Kurt and Cedric. Cedric is the hero of a level 1 playthrough in this game. He's incredibly useful. I know Wandering Mind's seen some of the level 1 stuff I've done.
Yeah.
Chapter 14 is the big one.
Yeah, like, Louffe has done some amazing stuff with level 1. Like, I know he has some videos out there, but, like, if you have any familiarity with, like, the game or just really with the series, then, I mean, you'll be impressed at what you see. Like, I was mind blown.
Yeah.
Even as a casual player, like the idea of level 1 being a thing was like, okay. But I didn't quite realize the implications until after watching a bit more of this. I'm like, oh, I see. This is a massive deficit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, I got an unlucky spawn here. Because I see 2 units, I know there's 5 others in this area. Because area limit 7. It's a benefit to the player when you know when it exists. So we're bringing out Riella here, and we are going to try to avoid using the Valkyria special power. I don't want to use it. I might have to. So again, edge intercept off the... we're edge intercepting, anti-intercept off the tank. Fantastic. So this is Valkyria Riella, and she hits for insanely high amounts of damage. I'm just going to check the area, what we've got here. So we got heavy armor over there, Lancer up there. This looks okay. So as I'm doing starter stepping here, you can't do VC2 style starter stepping against Valkyria Riella. She will snap onto you really quickly. So we're going to want to activate the Valkyria potential off this heavy armor. And the spawns are lovely, actually. I see all 7 arrows in the bottom corner. Valkyria will activate once Riella has hit half her health. So we... Oh yeah, that happened too. The heavy armor...
Friendly fire.
The heavy armors have really, really high versus armor on their weapons, so yeah, that happened. Valkyria will only activate.
Really fun.
Yeah, Valkyria will only activate once we're below half health, so I have to wait until Riella's on 132.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason why I need Valkyria, because Valkyria Riella hits stupidly hard. You might see me get hit once, so you'll see how much it takes off. Okay, now we're rolling for Valkyria. There we go. We need to turn Valkyria Riella around. 19, and I have Valkyria and all the big benefits, so we're good there.
Oh, yeah.
That was 45 to the rear, which is incredibly painful with all the benefits that we have. So we're going to get out Cedric, and we're just going to move him to the side. Why not? And
Yeah.
we're going to then get out Kurt. And a wonderful thing you can do is if you press triangle, you can perform direct command from deployment. And what we are going to be doing here is we're going to get Cedric and defeat Valkyria Realo. And I'm going to show off how gunners would attack normally if they're not part of a co-op attack. Cedric, please join in. Well, unfortunately, Cedric is deciding to not cooperate. So I'll end the action and then move over to Cedric again. So when gunners normally attack, they attack in a arc, and it looks like this. And Riella might die. But Valkyria Riela's dead. We're all good.
Yeah.
They literally just do the movie police bullet spray. Nice.
Yep. And that will be the end of Valkyria Chronicles 3. While I switch over to Valkyria Chronicles 4, I believe, Sid, you're going to be putting a poll into chat for if we're going to have English or Japanese voices.
Give you guys a couple of minutes there. Quite literally, too. While we take a second.
I don't know who
change
class
things
up,
over.
but
Ashton?
someone got a class up. Great.
Fina did.
Fina.
We're going to be switching over to Valk 4 here shortly.
All right. You're finally swapping off the portable systems back into modern consoles.
Yep.
Yes, I
It's
was
still-
really, really worried about Valkyria Chronicles 3 because that game is really hard.
It is. Like, I cannot state enough. Like, if VC2 was on the easy side, VC3 is on the harder side. So, like, the stuff that I tried to do in VC2, that would get you killed pretty quickly. And especially,
You'd get absolutely punished for half the stuff that Wandering Mind did.
yeah.
Yeah. Games like this always are hard for me to wrap my head around. Tactical games, like you have to have a very deep understanding of how the enemy interacts with the way that you move and all that stuff.
Yep.
So looks like we got the game up. Oh, that'll be nice. So you guys still got about 60 seconds to decide what language you want.
Yep.
Looks like Japanese is winning, but it's 2-5. This can very easily swing.
Yeah. While you guys are voting, I'm going to just show off a couple things. I am playing an unlocked frame rate. This game has a cap of 240 frames a second, and stuff will get wild. So
you mean
let me
And
switch-
you mentioned what console you're playing on?
This is on the PC.
Thank you.
PC, okay.
You mean it was a
See, I would've been wrong, too.
giant jump in the release date? It went from 2011 to 2018.
Yeah, it took quite a while for Valkyria Chronicles 4 to even get announced. I watched the E3 trailer for this game and I was like, oh, let's go.
Yeah,
I
so
was so excited for this.
yeah, the third game came out in 2011 and on the
So-
dead console, the PSP, and
We
all
are
thought that was
going
the end
with
of the series.
Japanese.
Okay, Japanese voices we go. You just lost like 3 seconds in your speedrun.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
It's not my
Japanese-
speed, it's-
Yeah. Well, this isn't a speedrun. This is a showcase.
Yeah, so
Fun run.
So out of nowhere, they released the PC Steam version of Valkyria Chronicles 1 in 2014. Like straight up out of nowhere, because we all thought the series was dead.
Yeah, it was just shadow dropped. So
And
I've got
then
3 save files here. Like you saw in Valkyria Chronicles 3, I'm a level 1 save. I have level 1 saves here. So level 1. Oh yeah, this save I had. When you do a speedrun, you turn off the DLC because you get that pop-up. But we're going to be going to Chapter 4. This lovely mission is a wonderful thing. So
That
there's a lot of trap.
dangerous.
So this mission has just straight up trap placements where if you place a unit, they die. Don't ask why. And what we're going to do is we're going to be placing Kygel and Laurent there. Oh, we're going to place Laurent and the APC there. And then I'm going to place Kygel and Jimmy here. They'll be fine. So the objective of this mission is to get an enemy unit to that highlighted end zone in like the yellow lattice. But come on, Riley, please.
Also, the game does not behave.
Yeah, you have
well
to get you have to get an ally unit to that end zone, and we have a unit that's already there for us. So we'll see what we can do.
Game does not behave well when you're above 60 FPS.
Yeah, the tracers for the So as I said, trap placements. This tank, the Vulcan, has a machine gun that they are just gonna actually attack during when it's their action. He was just doing 360s. Okay.
Eh.
Tank movement was not intended for FPS above 68.
Yeah.
Even the original game on the PC release, back when
Yeah, VC4 is a little bit better about it, but stuff
the game
gets
ran
wild.
because the game ran at 30 FPS on a PS3. When they initially released the PC version, the game was absolutely broken on 60 FPS. Hank straight up could not drive, and machine guns fired way too fast. It was almost unplayable.
Riley was missing, Doomé. Oh, Raz got a dodge. That's actually wonderful. And he got the kill. Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, my camp's open. They just ignore it. Yeah. Riley is on the Elias. So what we need to do is, unfortunately, the Vulcan is in a bad spot, so I might have to use the Hafen to damage block for it. And that turret, never mind, that's fine. The 360 saved me.
360.
So what we're going to
no-scope.
do is we're going to pick up these two units, and we're driving using the keyboard at high frame rates, playing the tanks on a controller. It's terrible. So we've got an anti-tank cannon there. It's hitting us pretty nastily, but we just need a drive here.
Unsurprisingly, tanks in this game series have tank controls.
Yep. Laurent destroys the fence. And I'm going to make a save here for safety. Great, you weren't missing any health. Just overheal, right? So I'm going to make a save here for safety, because we're going to be completing this mission in a very unintended manner using Riley.
Oh,
So there's a landmine here. Landmines in VC4 deal percentage-based damage.
I remember
So you can-
this.
So you can just safely walk over landmines. I think it's like 66%. It's 2/3.
DC4 introduced a new class called a Grenadier, and they're really fun to play with.
I'm going to make a save here just because stuff can go wrong. Thanks, Riley. Yeah, so we're saving this person that's laying where the indicator is by Is that good? Ah, the angle on that second shot was pretty bad.
Yeah, this is we're supposed to be going over there to save this guy, but we have another way to trick the game. We're helping. Yes, that is. We are helping. I'm helping you.
We got this.
It looks good. He dodged.
Oh, come on!
What?
Yeah, this
You
is
know-
this is reliant on Raz not dodging.
The funny part is when he showed this to me, when we were just having a VC to discuss how the show was going to go, first
Yeah.
tried it.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd put that out there.
That's how it runs as this game goes, honestly. Of this game series.
Yeah, this is
itself.
VC4. It's a bunch of nonsense that happens in this game, really.
This entire series is a bunch of
Come on.
nonsense. None of the levels you pretty much do casually.
There we go. Mission complete.
That was amazing.
Yeah. So
We saved him.
it's actually nice because it shows like how kind of this works and why it does and doesn't work. If you care to explain it.
Yeah. So initially, Raz is considered in the area, so you have to knock him out and knock him back in. It only checks for how many units are within the area, and it starts at 1 out of 1. So if you knock Raz out and put him back in, you've made the count go up. That's all it checks for.
Kind of a 64 floors moment.
Yeah.
Since he never moved out, the grenade moves him out. Then you move him back in with a grenade. Goes, oh, there's 2. Then it must be.
Yeah. And if you're wondering, you can't select Raz during that mission, so you have to do something like that to complete it in that very strange manner.
That's such
So,
a wild strat.
I'm going to be going over to the completed save file now. The reason why is because we're going to be going to Chapter 11. Chapter 11 is a very special chapter in this game because it has multiple glitch. It has a glitch known as fog storage. And explaining this glitch is going to sound like an absolute confusion fest. So we're going to be positioning some units. Our Lancer goes there, and I'm placing Mabel just for safety, and I'm placing Louffe because Louffe. So first thing I need to do is a defense boost on Claude. This is a save file that has completed the game and has the maximum possible gear on a level 1 save. So the damage I'm taking is going to be a lot less than an actual run of the game.
Also, you see they learned their lesson with defense boost. It's back to 1 command point now.
Yes, in this game, defense boost is given to you in a level 1 save, which is a pretty bad idea for balance. So the objective of this mission is to defeat the 2 cannons there, and you're going to wonder, Alicia? Are we going to go Alicia mode? The answer is yes. We're just going to be capturing this camp is our objective, and what we'll do is we're going to evacuate Sergio. But first of all, we're going to use Kai. Kai is a sniper, an actually good sniper. I know, surprise. And I can't see the target on it. There we go. And we are going to snipe this grenadier because he causes a lot of problems.
Glad you can see him because I can't.
So grenadiers in this game.
Yeah, he just
Oh, ragdolls.
Oh yeah.
high
Ragdolls.
frame rate.
Great.
High frame rate.
Bethesda. Let's go.
Yeah. So now we've got our defense boost. We're just going to be Alicia 2.0 because we're actually better than Alicia, believe it or not.
So grenadiers in this game have 2 modes. They have the weapon out and the weapon not out. When the weapon's out, you can do the mortar shot like you saw in the previous mission. But they also execute a zone of control where if they see an enemy within that zone moving, they will start firing at them.
Yeah. They are really annoying because they have a speed down debuff if they hit you, which, it's a nightmare. So we have to go down the left side of this bridge, just healing for safety. Even though I shouldn't really need to, I'm doing it. Go down the left side of the bridge because there is a trooper, I believe, on the right side. And now we use a feature called Direct Command. It returns from VC3. It's more broken, and it resets your movement decay. So Claude's just got an entire gauge back, plus 50, and it counts as his first move for the turn.
Yeah. So that's the thing that tries to keep you from doing multiple moves. Is that you get less and less each time you command the same character.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if you
And
have
it
access to
falls
Direct
fast.
Command, you can just have infinite run. It's great.
I mean, I don't see a Fire Emblem soloing the whole battlefield in one turn either. So
Yeah.
That's the typical Fire Emblem speedrun.
well, not in the same turn, but yeah. It's like the enemy doesn't get a turn, and Fire Emblem, the enemy always gets a turn.
Ragdoll.
So
and,
there's a
VCR
scout
funny.
right here, and because I'm in the mist, yeah, everything's really short range for vision. So I capture the camp, and I'm going to do a save and load. It sounds really stupid, but I'll explain. So I'm going to save the game and just instantly load. So this executes a glitch called fog storage, where every unit that is in the fog, so it'd be Raz, Riley, and Claude right now, they are going to continue their fog state to the next phase of the mission. And I'm going to use the rapid deployment on Sergio to get him out straight away. It cost me 2 command points, unlike the PSP games. He's a doctor, by the way.
My brain like broke halfway through that sentence, and I thought you were going to say he was adopted, and I'm like, why does that matter?
He's a doctor. So now that I've destroyed the cannon, we move on to the second phase of the mission, where we need to get Claude out of the area. But we're not going to do that. I just want to show you the stuff with the fog storage glitch, because it's quite amazing. So you will now see that if I hover over Louffe, there's a yellow line that's connecting her to the sniper. This means the sniper can see her. Same with Sergio. But it doesn't apply to Raz, Riley, Claude, or Mabel. I don't know why, but this allows us to perform a completely free surprise attack. I think that trooper should normally see us, but he doesn't. So we get a completely free surprise attack. And now it breaks fog storage for Riley. But we can choose Mabel. And we get another surprise attack. Why not?
It seems like fog is stored on the individual characters on the map, but as soon as they take an action, it resets the status. Interesting.
Yeah. But now, because I believe I went into target mode, Mabel has lost it. It's a really strange system to understand. And yes, it is also weirdly showing the fog that you're in.
Just to gaslight you further.
But the main reason why in this why in the speedrun we do fog storage is this guy here. For some reason, they decided we're going to place a grenadier here. You just saw him pop in. There's no fog. As you can see, like now this counts as a surprise attack because there's no yellow line. And he won't open intercept fire while in the fog. So that's why we do a save and load. It causes so many problems.
something low setting, something.
Save load, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm done with this mission. Luckily, I am not bad at this game because I can do a load from inside a mission, go to the next.
Also adds a much needed retry button.
Yeah, an instant retry button is lovely when you fail a mission. Which
Go ahead.
Is so useful.
I never realized how much like autosaves and save loads are really good until I got all to 16. Every time you clear a fight, you get an autosave. And you can really abuse that, and it's just like, oh, this is so nice.
So with this mission, there's a lot of there's quite a few things that you might want to pay attention to while I'm doing it. So I'm just going to place all my command points even though I don't need to. I'm just doing it because it actually feels really nice when you're doing the motions. And we are going to get to the second phase of the mission. So this mission is set at night. What this does is it reduces the range that you can see enemies, and that's fairly important to keep in mind. So we're going to drive the cactus. We're going to capture the 2 camps that we need to progress the mission. We're not going to be completing the mission, though. I'm not very good at this game, as you could probably tell. So annoyingly, you have to do 2 moves, and capturing the second camp can normally be really difficult. But I'm going to try a different strategy. It's an old strategy. So while an enemy is reloading, they can't avoid. So you can abuse that in many, many ways. Next, Sergio comes out, and what we're going to do is, first of all, goodbye cactus. You might be a little confused why I did that.
No, my tank. Wait a minute.
Yeah, don't need the cactus anymore. Orders. No, ship orders. Emergency fix. Come back, cactus.
Damage? What damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just fixed it.
You know how I've moved the cactus twice, and when you take multiple actions with a single unit, the action gauge goes down? Yeah, the cactus is back on full movement.
It counts as a new unit because it's been redeployed. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So what I can do is I'm going to pick up Riley, and I'm going to drive to the other camp.
Yeah, APCs were really unbalanced in the PSP games, and when they brought it over here,
Yeah. The only reason we don't really use the APCs in the second game as far as like any % normal is because the machine gun turrets fire really slow. This is not a problem in 3 where they fire really fast. And while the maps are a lot larger in VC3, at least the ones that are new to the one, because there are several maps from VC2 that are reused.
yeah, it turns out a game with limited movements, being able to move multiple units at the same time is really, really good.
Riley should be okay. I'm just going to capture the camp. And, I've unfortunately made a mistake in this mission. So keep in mind, the first segment of the mission had a night weather effect, which reduces our sight range. You go into a second phase where, you know that tank from Chapter 4? We need to destroy it, but I'm in a really bad position. As you can see, like, my tank's just suddenly moved, I think. Riley's in a terrible place. It's all messed up, so I unfortunately have to surrender, you know? It's really unfortunate. I'm going to try again. This is a bit, by the way. Trust me, this leads to a glitch.
Completely a bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bit. This leads to a glitch with this mission. Notice that the night effect is now gone. I can now see this tank. The night effect is just completely gone. So yeah, this glitch, unfortunately, stays, to our knowledge, stays until you restart the entire game. You have to reset, you have to close out the game, go back in to reset the game, to reset this glitch. It carries across save files, carries across everything. It's
You just
really
broke the
annoying.
night. You just broke the night.
Yeah.
I ran into something like that the other day. The like lighting got bugged, and I was like, "Why is it?" And it's just I don't understand.
It also bugs out the lighting in the mission because it's not got the night state anymore, even though it thinks it does. So this mission can be really difficult for a casual, but we're going to be doing some really cool trickery here. So I've gone to a chapter 15 save, and Aladdin is being placed very specifically. I'm going to use Riley as a safety backup, and I don't have all my command points. And we're going to use Ferrier to be our leader. So this save file is messed up for like the regular level 1 speedrun. So I'm using a backup with Riley here. So you might notice there's a little S in the shadows just in front of me. We're going to rub our face against the wall until we clip through it. We've clipped through. We're out of bounds now. Then what we'll do is with Kai, we will stand next to Mr. Aladdin here, and we can initiate a co-op attack on the Ragnite Crystal. Character height actually matters here. You have to have Aladdin to co-op attack. Very strange. And now we are going to move our tanks in ways that will block respawn points with a displacement. Hey, you know how we down-warped in VC2? We're going to do something similar here. So I'm going to be placing my tanks to block the respawn points, because I can't use mines in VC2, unlike VC2. That looks pretty good.
Breakdowns are fun in this series.
I'm going to make a save here just for safety. And Riley will now send Ferrier flying. Goodbye.
Oh, that's great.
That has clipped her through the other side of the ice shelf, meaning we don't need to run around here to get a trooper through, or run around here with our tanks. It's wonderful. Now, this is something I'm worried about, is running around the ice blocks here, because Chromaria really, really hurts. That can happen.
Oh.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but we get to do it again. We get to do it again.
So ragdolls, whenever a character gets knocked off their feet, they just go into a ragdoll state, or when they die. And
yeah, so
the physics just don't work.
Gonna hit Ferrier again. Please don't dodge. Whee!
Woo!
Yeah, the ragdolls can fly. It's great. In VC1, if you're in the ragdoll state and you like go from the 3D to the 2D or the 2D to 3D, the ragdoll just spins around. It makes no sense.
I'm getting stuck on the ice there. It's really annoying. We'll do it again. I was expecting this to go wrong because it went wrong in practice. Oh yeah, there's that. I'll do that tech. Come on. Okay. So there is a tech that does exist against Chromaria, which I'm now going to use, where basically, if you constantly do leans, she's going to be really angry, and it prevents her from attacking. It's really funny. And now I'm just going to direct command to make sure that I can get in safely. We're going to get right up into her face. The bobbing head is really horrible for casual players. That was a really bad shot.
Oh, that is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, the headshots will basically be where the head is on the model itself, and yeah, moving cameras and moving models.
Yep. The bobbing was really bad. There we go. But yeah, if you use tilts, she just refuses to attack. It's great. Now we're going to be getting to some hard stuff, post-game stuff on a level 1 save. So, we're going to be going to one of my favorite missions in the game, actually. Expert DLC 2, Blitz Assault. This mission is really difficult with its intended solve, and we're going to be crushing through it on a level 1 save with what the game gives us. I think the S rank on this mission is 7 turns. I could be wrong on that. Might even be more. Down here, we need Minerva, Crystal, and Mabel. That's all good. So this mission has a couple engineers, and if you do not kill them by the turn that they activate, they get rid of these barricades, and there are 2 bunkers that will basically gun down your units here. There's also going to be lancers from the south of the map that will come up and start shooting down the barricades anyway. So you need to have, and over here, this is your strike team to basically go through the entire area, through these ruins, up through here, round through here, and down here, and try to live. I'm also going to be trying to get the ace in this mission, so why not? We'll go for it. So orders, defense boost on Minerva. This works like Valkyria Chronicles 1, where it's a +10 defense. So Minerva, she's outkitted with basically maximum defense possible for a level 1. Rank 11 uniform for 11 defense. Fortified armor accessory for +6. And then now we've used defense boost. She's at 27 defense. It's it's a very high value. And now we're going to use inspiration. This order does a lot of things, and it's incredibly broken down almost every single avenue you can think of. So I'm going to do a save here because this mission can be really tough at times. So we'll go for it.
I like how every time he gives an order, he's supposed to be talking into a walkie-talkie, but it just looks like he's shouting into his hand.
It's the beach outfit. So we're going to wait for this scout to fire 5 bullets, and then attack during its reload animation so it cannot dodge. And what we're going to do now is this trooper needs to put Crystal to the ground. This will activate a last stand because we have used the inspiration order, and we will use the inspire option. What this does is based on the class that is using inspire, so it is a scout here. It will give a boost to the nearest unit, which is Minerva, and that's another +10 defense that Minerva has now. She has 37 defense. That went well. We're just going to do a save here.
I will say that legitimately, this is like the first thing I saw from the game when I was in a call discussing this show. Like, oh, check this out. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
So Minerva
this
has,
is my first experience with VC.
Yeah. So we do need to kill this trooper. This trooper will move on the first action for the enemy. And normally, I believe the last stand is like a 10% chance, but with Inspire, it's 100. So we've got an engineer here. We need to kill him. Caught him in his reload. Brilliant. Can't evade. Need to dodge these mines because they hurt a lot. And we turn into Alicia from VC1 by using direct command. There's a lot of running that we need to do.
Marathon map.
Yeah. So I am going to hit a heal here because it's kind of necessary.
Feels pretty funny having to say I'm going to heal when everything does 1 damage.
Yeah,
There's
there's a
just that many.
sniper, and the sniper can hit for
Great.
over 100.
Fair.
No, it'd be 50.
That's still pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Given your current status.
You want to avoid healing as much as possible in this series, but because it's slow, but it is sometimes necessary because there's just that much stuff you're running through.
I always find it funny when I'm watching a tactics game and you just literally ignore everything.
So luckily,
In a lot of
Minerva
them.
is now in a completely safe spot where no enemy can see her. This is a fortunate place to end our turn. So here come the Lancers. They're going to shoot down the barricades because I killed the engineer. They're not going to be going down when it becomes my action. These Lancers can hit each other. Their accuracy is pretty bad. So if they hit each other, it's pretty funny. Oh, I forgot to kill the trooper. I knew I forgot something.
Yeah, and they get like 1 movement per
There you
unit on board, I think.
Oh, that was
my.
great.
Yeah, I forgot to kill the trooper. Sorry, Crystal. Yeah.
So when an
So
enemy
I
goes,
will have to load back and do that again. I forgot to kill the trooper. That's my mistake there.
when an ally goes down, you have a certain amount of turns to go pick them back up, or else they
Yeah.
will permadie. Or if the enemy walks into them first, they will permadie.
Oh, all right. I see why people keep comparing it to FE then, because I was like, doesn't FE have
Yeah.
permadeath? This
I
doesn't have
believe
it.
the permadeath in the PSP games is 1 turn shorter.
I believe so. So there really isn't permadeath in 2 and 3. So with 2, your unit will be out of commission for a few missions. However, I believe in the 3rd game, they're ready to go like the next mission.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, in VC3, I believe it is instant, and I will need to redo my turn 1 there. I did mess up.
Yeah.
I find it so interesting how like games like this have several entries and they have like very similar cores, but there's all these little specific differences that you need to know, especially if you
Yeah.
want to speed run it to make it viable.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make sure Crystal doesn't die this time. But yeah, I believe it is a turn less in the PSP games, and in VC3 there is no permadeath because they knew how hard their game is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 is not easy.
He dodged. Great.
Yeah. Like there is a medal specifically for your unit dying. In 1 and 4, so unit permanently dies, you get a medal called the Splintered Horn. However,
Oh, that's not in 4.
that's not in 4.
Splintered
Okay, my
Horn's not in
bad.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my bad.
Also in VC1, you could just edit the save file and revive them. It's very easy. All you need is just a hex editor. So Notepad++, whatever you want.
Okay. So Mabel is really important. She has the strongest sniper rifle available, and she also has an accessory called the small tank shard. It says it's +10 versus armor, but they got the wrong field in a column, and it's actually +10 versus personnel. It's very broken.
That sounds very broken.
So I'm just going to make a save here because this mission can go incredibly wrong incredibly quickly.
Oh, the controls are different in each one too. Oof.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Luckily, there's some overlap between Remake and Rebirth. There's some differences, but I think I'd go wild if they were all different. Eesh.
Yeah.
That getting goofed is actually more common than you might think. There's a lot of things that say they do X, and it turns out they do Y, and they do Y really well. It
Yeah.
happens a lot.
The PSP games, I believe, cross and circle are reversed.
I think.
That's
Especially,
always like
I know for 3 for certain because it's Japanese exclusive. I think
it
it's
happens a lot with Japanese games too, because like they tend to have circle for okay, X for no.
Yeah, it's just
And
the
then
Japanese
in
culture thing.
Eastern countries, we do it the opposite.
Well, yeah, it makes sense because if something is correct, you circle it, and if something is
Yeah.
wrong, you
Until
cross
the
it out.
PS5. Until the PS5, actually. If you're on the Japanese firmware PS5, it actually has a additional scene where it tells you on the PS5 you use X to select in Japan.
Oh, well, now they know how we feel.
Yep.
Get with the times, old man. This is reality. Papa
Yeah.
Sony says so.
Oh, if you're wondering, like, broken controls, if you've never heard of the Switch version, the Switch Cloud version of Kingdom Hearts 2, it's an absolute fever dream of bugs.
Dude, whenever you add cloud to anything, it's always going to be chaotic.
Yeah, you know the Trinity limit in Kingdom Hearts 2, where what they did is they assigned the X button on the Switch controller to the actual X function on a PS2 controller. So you can do infinite Trinity. It's great.
What?
Yeah, one of our staff members is a diehard Kingdom Hearts member. It's not too hard to figure out who it is, but yeah, even he wouldn't go near the cloud versions of that. He's like, no,
Yeah,
not happening.
I mean, I've seen the cloud versions in action, and it doesn't matter on your internet connection. People that say that they are working fine are probably used to like 20 FPS gaming. It's so terrible.
Not to mention in Japan, their servers are usually in the backyard.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
probably okay in Japan, but anywhere in the West, it's really, really bad.
I'm like half tempted just to mess with it because I got fiber recently. I was like, wait, my other option is Google Fiber? Yeah, let's go.
No, it's still terrible.
I know.
The cloud
it's gonna be
versions
like,
are still terrible.
why did I pay $50 for this? This is a big mistake.
Yeah. So we are sitting through the enemy turn here again. I made a mistake by not killing the trooper.
You did make a mistake because now the other one didn't kill the other one with his.
Oh,
Granite
yeah,
shot.
that
Now I'm
lance
really-
just goes...
Oh, just
That
barely
lance
missed.
just goes straight through the other lancer. I don't know. This,
Now that was commentator's curse. That was my fault.
yeah.
It went right between his elbow and his body.
So there we go. More lancers appear, by the way. And this game, as far as I know, doesn't have a spawn limit, unlike VC1. So
I can
you
see
can get
why
more
there's-
and more lancers.
I can
So
see why
now
there's
we're
a
at-
limit on PSP. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. So now that we're out the enemy phase, we are going to be doing another rush here with Minerva. We're on turn 2, and we got a lot of stuff to do.
Unfortunately,
We are
for the
going to be
series-
using the ship order of radar, and we are going to radar right here. This will reveal the ace who is in this camp right next to these black X's, and it will also reveal a sniper, which I need to kill.
Yeah, unfortunately for the series, yeah, you get graded on every mission, and the grading criteria is basically just how many turns they take.
So hopefully this radar hits exactly what I wanted it to. We're good. We got the sniper I need, and here's the ace. Warlock Cub Attack. He has 900 HP. So, again, we went for a cutscene. I'm saving. Now we are going to grind our face against the camp. Mabel will have a little flag icon above her name when she's in the camp. And we're grinding for a potential, so second try. Let's go. I forget what the activation rate is of that, but it's not what I'm used to by playing a certain game. Or a certain mod for this game. So we zoom right in. Oh, it's 10%. Thank you, Doomy, for that.
Yeah, saving and loading is fine. We don't do single cycle
Yeah.
runs.
Yeah.
There's bugs due to saving and loading. It's great. So, you see this Lancer? One shot. And he's dead. That's the ace.
Yeah, these games are so random. There's almost no way you're doing single segment unless you do extremely slow and stay strats.
Yeah. I've tried doing single segment level 1 and it went terribly. And finally, the inspiration order on Claude. Thank you for your orders, Claude, but we're going to have to throw you to the wayside here. Minerva's going to finish the mission.
Especially for Valkyria Chronicles 1, because as the run got faster and faster, we just resorted to dumber and dumber strats.
Yeah. So what we need to do is we need to get Claude on the floor. He needs to go down to 0 HP, but there's so many Lancers, and they don't open up on interception. It's pretty unfortunate. There's kind of a problem when you think about it. Like, I need to get Claude killed, but there's just all these Lancers. But luckily, ladder hitboxes in this game are really jank. But luckily, right at the end, and I mean right at the end of his AP gauge, there's a Gatling turret.
Right around the corner.
Yep. It's almost like the developers planned for you to do this with how it's positioned.
Yeah, a lot of levels are very mean. Just very, very mean.
And now, we will do the finishing run with no more orders. Minerva has all the defense in the world, if I've done this correctly.
Honestly, all the like surprise ambushes and like things around corners, you think this was a Fire Emblem game?
Yeah. So there is a sniper right at the end of this bridge. He hit me. It hurt. Got the kill. Now, this sniper, luckily, during practice I found this to where Minerva, if you run here, is just about in range to take out the sniper. Because there's a double sniper there the game doesn't tell you about.
Have there been a lot of runs you lost to like the character just missing shots that they really should have?
Every single
It happens
time.
all the time.
The
Yep.
prologue in the first game, it's so many resets for just missing.
Fair. I've had a
All
lot
just
of
to
that.
save like half a second.
I've had that in some of the intro segments of the run, what I run too, where it's just like that should not have missed. Why am I back here again?
Yeah, unfortunately in this game,
Yeah.
accuracy is a very real stat and a very fake stat at the same time. Because you got
It's
that,
a-
you have
it's
the
a
aiming circle
suggestion.
and you have the aiming circle and if you don't hit accuracy, it'll just randomly pick a spot in that circle to shoot at.
Safety heal here.
I just asked because it seemed like a lot of the shots you really haven't had any issues with not killing for the most
Yeah,
part.
consider I'm also on level 1 accuracy. so-
Yeah.
Yeah, thankfully every character has their own individual accuracy stat, so
You can pick the ones that actually can hit the broadside
Yeah.
of a barn.
no.
No, wrong.
No, unfortunately in first
Try
game, you have to use
again.
tank. And anyone who's ever played the first game knows notoriously how bad the tank is at aiming.
Oh, it's
He won't
bad.
miss the broadside of a barn.
Yeah, like
Double
we
kill.
have a strat in first game where we shoot a bridge from the other side of the map, and well, considering the accuracy of the tank,
So the original strat for that for RTA runs was to have a second scout run across and grenade the bridge. The second man strat was use a tank to shoot it. So we just took the second man strat.
So I did wait for yeah,
Wait for the reload.
there we go.
Yeah, you know,
Blitz assault in 2 turns with the ace.
yeah, that's a typical case of as the run gets faster, we usually start to dumber and dumber strats.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh no, this was the first strat I came up with in this mission.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just
DC
received
one
a couple
though.
It's just received a couple modifications over time. Next, we're going to be going to the mission that kills everyone's dreams of trying to get the A ranks. A true battlefield. So, this mission, I'm going to go into the mission info. capture the enemy base camp to win. However, volatile Ragnite particles are in the air and magnify damage dealt and taken. Mind your positioning and watch out for interception fire. Anyone that knows this mission knows that this mission hurts. There's a 6 times damage multiplier for this mission. And to show it off, we're going to be using... Well, I mean, we're going to be using Minerva. Minerva's just the best character in the game, right? And I'm going to place all my command points. And why not? We're placing Louffe too. So, one thing I'm going to say is the statistics in these pages are not modified. It just multiplies 6 at the end of everything. Keep that in mind. So, we're going to run this battlefield in a single turn. Because you know that Inspire boost stuff? We're doing it here.
Oh, I lied. This is the first thing I saw. This specific map.
Yeah. So, I'm going to show off the 6 times damage boost because it's not going to really exist in this mission. Yep, that's why I got the cactus out. So, this AT cannon, okay, cactus managed to threat.
Oh,
I managed to get all the way. But yeah, dies in one shot.
My man is a driving hero.
Just dodging every... For those that know Chapter 7, imagine if I got that across the bridge. So, you know, the cactus didn't necessarily work. What about, you know, Crystal? She's a scout. I mean, maybe she might last a little bit longer, but no, she dies in 6.
Just a human, you know.
But no, she dies in 6 frames.
Moment she comes into aim, bonk.
She dodged about 3 shots and then...
Yeah, maybe dogs like 3 shots, but yeah.
It was 3 shots. I had a hard time counting in between them.
Yeah. So most importantly, yes, this is level 1. All my units are level 1. This is the big thing. Minerva now has her magic number of 37. We'll go to enemy units. They hit for 40, but keep in mind, interception is a 10% reduced damage, so that's 36. And here goes Minerva. So with that 6 times damage, the way they actually calculated it is it also multiplies your defense by 6. So even though Minerva's just going to take scratch damage, it's great. Also, do we hate Grenadiers? Yes or no?
No. I mean, yes, but no.
Yes or no?
I don't know.
Sure.
I guess yes.
Yeah, we hate them.
We hate them when they're on the enemy team, but we love them when they're on our team.
Yeah. So I am going to be defeating the Ace in this mission as well. Ace is just a little bit around the corner. He has a decent evade chance, so it shouldn't be too bad. Ace is here.
The moral of the story is in Valkyria Chronicles is if you yell at your units hard enough, they will just shrug off bullets like nothing.
Yep. And I will make a save here because this final run, this sniper up here, he's dealing 90 damage, but you have to multiply that by 6, so it deals 540. It will one-shot any infantry unit I have. And if I remember the route correctly, we run between the bus stop here and the sniper shouldn't hit. Perfect. Do we hate snipers or not?
Yes.
Absolutely.
We're going to get rid of this sniper.
So the item that you're using to like refill your action, is that part of like a system mechanic or something you need to
That is a
farm
system
separately?
mechanic called direct command. Normally,
Okay.
it works like Valkyria Chronicles 3, where you can bring 2 units with you. But yeah, that's rarely ever used
Okay.
in a speedrun. We just do it to reset our movement gauge.
Because it really feels like an elixir type item. Like this should be something you get like every once in a while.
Yeah, there is a Valkyria Chronicles 4.
You get it once every turn in this game.
Just every turn. Okay.
Yeah,
And,
there's a Valkyria
yeah.
Chronicles 4. It is
The
usually
true
on
battlefield
sale.
cleared.
Nice.
Dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun,
this
dun,
game
dun,
is
dun,
usually
dun,
on sale
dun.
as well as the original game on PC a lot of time.
Yeah, these are pretty old. I'd imagine any of these that are on PC should be fairly avoidable pretty consistently.
And finally, we come to probably one of the most glorious things that I have found in this game. If you know what this is, you know. If you don't know, crazy stuff is going to happen in this mission. This mission's got some very strange collision, and when you play a game at very high frame rates with very strange collision,
We're gonna
stuff
Bitcoin this.
breaks down in
Lessons for people making games.
scary ways.
Don't tie physics to frame rates.
I will
Don't
say,
tie anything to frame
that
rates, please.
if you are motion,
ever.
I'm going to legitimately say, if you are motion sick, it's probably best not to look at this.
Yeah, this gets
Be
little,
given a warning.
It's not even so much the tank; it's just everything surrounding it. So
Yeah.
just
fight these frame
focus
rates.
if you have to.
Don't
So
play games
there
that
are-
above 200.
So there are a couple glitches I will be showing off in this mission. It's not going to be massively bad, but it can get pretty bad. So, as I said, there's a couple glitches we're going to be showing in this mission, but there's one really big one, and I wanted to save this until the end. So we are going to do a save because this is incredibly random. I have not managed to ever get this consistently. Are we ready?
Yes, I'm so ready.
I hope I can get this very quickly, and I hope I can get it really good. And I hope I
got
can
this.
get a really good
We got
one.
like 20 minutes. You have plenty of time.
Okay.
Ideally, we see this on the first time because it's funnier immediately.
There we go! That is a tank flight, and my tank is now drunk,
There,
but if I snap to an enemy, it will constantly stay snapped.
yeah, it's kind of hard to like describe how bad this will make you motion sick, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I'm going to end my turn instantly because unlike Valkyria Chronicles 1, where if you watch that showcase, it was excellent, Alicia would be falling through the ground. I'm going to leave it a secret for a little bit. But what we're going to do is with Kai, we need to get rid of one of these grenadiers because this grenadier is really, really annoying and he needs to die. I'm in a bad position.
I gotta love the characters with like the super anime aesthetic with like horns on their head or caps. Just
Oh yeah, by the way, that's the Huffin there.
he's a huffing and a puffing, and he got knocked over. He's not doing anything.
Yeah,
You're
for
out.
some reason, target mode in this game locks in your height.
Ooh,
Just don't ask.
don't think about it too much. Might hurt your
Yeah.
head.
And now we're
I
gonna
noticed
have
it's literally not sitting on it. It took me a second.
the reason it can be any scout. I normally use Crystal just for a showcase, but it can be any scout. Because when you do the inspiration and then the inspire option, it gives a +10 defense boost to the nearest unit. So we're going to be driving the cactus. We're going to pick up Minerva, and we're also going to be picking up Riley. 2 reasons. I'm going to see if I can get another one. I couldn't go for the double. But yeah, the wind that Claude talks about all the time. Yeah, it's keeping him up in the air.
That's hilarious, and you can even drive under it. The game just straight up does not.
Yeah, the
It's floating.
game has 0 cares about what's happening. I mean, if you want me to show that, I'm going to move with Kai. Kai's going to go under the Huffin, and as you can see, the game just doesn't care. So I'm going to perform a save load here. There is a bug here. So notice how I remember when I use inspiration on Minerva here. By doing a save load, this performs high morale storage. To where when I select Minerva now, she's in a pseudo high morale state where she has high morale, but she hasn't actively activated it. It's a weird one, but what this does is, as you can see with the SP, that is the high morale state. And I'm going to also show you that ladders in this game are a suggestion and very weird. You can just go down ladders in this mission. It's just specifically this mission.
They must have forgot to put a invisible wall there.
But now I'm going to end my turn, and Minerva now has the high morale state again. Because saving while a unit is in an APC for some reason just doesn't use high morale. So you can delay high morale for an extra action if you want to. And you know how I was showing off ladders? You can just stand on them. They sometimes don't function. So if you decide to deploy Riley on a ladder and then exit out, her hair goes absolutely insane.
Oh,
I don't know why.
Can we just go up and down the ladder 64 times and see if we can wrong warp to the final boss?
We can try that. Let's go 1,
Yeah, the hair physics don't like
2,
it. Hair physics don't like it when it collides with solid
3,
objects.
4, 5. I don't think it works in this game. This is
Damn.
a well-made game, as you can tell.
Oh, man.
And that will be the end of Valkyria Chronicles 4. After I do this.
Ka-clunk, ka-clatter.
I
And
missed.
Kaplode.
Oh, you missed.
Dunk.
I'm going to take my anger out in this tank now. But yeah, that will be the end of VC4. I hope you enjoyed, and this was definitely a showcase for all 4 games.
it was.
Yes, all 4 games.
Yeah, 4K. All right. So real quick, same old song and dance. We do have a couple of dates coming up. The event is coming up in a few months here. But if you are planning on attending or even just volunteering online as well, we have volunteer submissions opening on the 9th. This will let you get closer to the actual submissions, all that stuff. Our website will have further information if you need it. Really, I don't have too much to say. That was a lot of fun. I'm really glad that the random encounters somehow feel like they're each getting better than the last. And I do want to thank the VC team here for reaching out and setting this up. And I'm glad that we got a chance to show this off. You guys have anything you want to say before we walk on out?
Thanks for having us here, for showing off our game series. And do check out the marathon. It's really fun to be there and volunteering.
I want to say thank you to Wandering Mind for sort of bringing me in on the idea to do Valkyria Chronicles 3 and 4 back to back on a level 1 save. That's the even crazier part for it. And I was happy that almost everything went perfectly smoothly, aside from that one flub I made in Blitz Assault.
And I'm so glad I was able to bring everyone together and get this showcase going. That I was really happy with how we were able to showcase all 4 games. And yeah, I am really looking forward to the main marathon in a few months. And I'm just trying to think of what else to say. But huge thank you to everyone who showed up today.
Yeah, I'd also like to give a huge shout out to the Valkyria Chronicles community in general. I'm not I have done a few runs and a bit of practice for going fast in these games, but I'm not necessarily a directly speedrunner for the game. I find a lot of things like as you saw in Valkyria Chronicles 2, the ladder skip, the down warp, that initially started by just going through the fence because I was like, I think I have something, while Wandering Mind was randomly flicking through your missions. And then it evolved to that literally a week later to skipping the entire ladder.
Yeah, and then a few hours ago, we'll just skip the ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah, let that be a lesson. The glitch hunters in the community are a lot of times unspoken heroes that find a lot of things to make our lives easier. And when you say, how did somebody find that? It's somebody was determined to get through it, usually.
Speedrunning is ultimately a collaborative effort between a lot of different people.
Mhm.
Yeah, like you have your speedrunners, the people that run the game, but there's always people behind the scenes, like strategy hunters, routers, glitch hunters, just absolutely everything. And it couldn't be done without the people that are behind the scenes.
So I think that will wrap it up. Like I said, they approached me with this idea. So if any other community does want to do a showcase like this, we have another one coming up with Suikoden in a couple of weeks. Please feel free to approach me. We're looking to try and gear up content, especially going into the event. But for this, I think we are done for today. And I hope everybody had a good one. And we will see you next time.